team like Kyrie and KD, or the Lake Show with King James and AD. Wish I could match him up with the bad boys from the 80s, but no black and white, I need that in HD. HenDawgz.
Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy HenDawgz, and we back to it. You know how we do it. When a gang leader confronted Tyson. I know. This is not one of my normal videos. This is not a normal basketball video. You know, if y'all used to my channel, y'all know I'm used to doing the basketball videos. But I was just scrolling on YouTube, and this one kind of caught my attention. You know, why is a gang leader confronting Mike Tyson? And what happened? I think that's what it was the most interesting thing about it. I want to know what actually happened when he confronted Tyson. But before we get into this video, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all like this video if y'all like this video, and go ahead and write something in the comments. Right if y'all want me to start reacting to more videos like this. Because like I said, this is not a basketball video, but this is going to be pretty interesting and pretty fun to watch. So let's get into it. We got when a gang leader confronted Tyson. Let's get it.
This is gonna be a fight, Tyson, and you know it. You hit me, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you.
Welcome back to the Big Fight Recap here on BLTV.
Look at me pulling his glasses off. Did you see his eye? His eye was just hanging out his head.
On today's video, we revisit the infamous two-fight saga between Mike Tyson and Mitch Blood Green. A genuine beef that 10 rounds of boxing couldn't squash, as the two would face off one more time on the street, this time in a much shorter affair with a decisive victory.
Oh!
Let's get right to it.
It's a movie. Or was that just a movie emulating a real life scene? Oh, hey!
After Tyson's 10-round decision to James Quick Tillis in 1986, the invincibility aura from Kid Dynamite took a slight knock as the two heavyweights battled out a much closer fight than the boxing fans and bookmakers expected.
How disappointed are you that the knockout string is over?
Not at all. If anything, I feel relieved, and I'm confident if I wanted to, I could have knocked them out.
It was Tyson's first time.
All right, before we start getting into this, I think that I'm about to dive into a bunch of different boxers, because one thing I will say that I don't want to admit is I don't know a lot about boxing. I know about Floyd, and I know a lot about the super popular ones, but when it's like those regular boxers that's very, very good but not that popular, I don't be knowing them. So I'm about to definitely dive all the way into boxing. So write some stuff in the comments right now and give me some stuff on what I should react to in the comments right now. Good luck.
Time going the distance as he had finished his previous 19 opponents all inside the opening 2 or 3 rounds. That gave some of the other heavyweight contenders an incentive to catch this teenage dynamo early, halt the hype train, and earn the highest possible payday outside of a championship fight.
Tyson say, gonna give me a fight, I want Mike Tyson. Point blank. Michelle Tyson, he's a mo, I'm gonna knock him out.
Mitch Blood Green was one of the first fighters to utilize the new age of digital camcorders to get his message out there to boxing fans.
Now I'm gonna show you something. Feast your eyes on a real heavyweight.
There was no social media in those days, but local news stations and televised sports networks such as HBO would air the clips during a broadcast to gauge the fans' reaction.
I ain't no joke. But if this Blood Green, and you heard my fight, watch my smoke.
It's probably due to audio compression over time, but I can honestly say I have difficulty understanding what Mitch Green is saying.
I don't know what he's
Two
talking.
clear things were the muscle flexing and homophobic slurs, and bizarrely enough, as far as my research suggests, this was enough to land him a shot at the hottest prospect in world boxing.
Detroit?
Growing up on the tough streets of Detroit, Mitch Green was a prominent player in 1970s New York gang warfare. By the age of 17, he had witnessed his father lose his life in a bizarre Western-style quick-draw shootout, not long before being shot twice himself, fortunately escaping with non-fatal injuries. Green tried to escape gang life by joining the UBA boxing gym in New York, but by this time his ties to the street were too pronounced, as he was now hailed the king of New York street gangs by the NYPD for his role as gang leader in the deadly Bloods crew. Things slowly started to change for Mitch as his reputation as a gang leader was exceeded by that of a talented amateur boxer, the muscular 6'5" big man that was racking up copious tournament success, including several New York Golden Gloves.
From the Bronx, New York, undefeated.
So he was always a boxer. He wasn't just a gang member.
Green took to the professional ring in 1980 and quickly started racking up wins over journeyman and fringe contenders such as Joey Cummings. Champion in waiting Trevor Berbick became the first man to beat Green in 1985, where Mitch made a good account of himself, only losing by majority decision. Both Tyson and Green were on the fringe of a world title shot, so regardless of the antics, the two were on a likely collision course. The trash talk from Green just helped build more interest in the fight, which in turn certainly struck a chord with Tyson, who openly admitted to hating that ugly mother effer.
And Mike Tyson, traditionally, no robe, no socks. He says it makes him feel like a warrior. Makes him feel like a gladiator.
Tyson met Green for the first time in May 1986 at Madison Square Garden. It was Tyson's first match at a prestigious boxing venue and also the first to be covered by a large television network.
Green knew what he was doing. You know, Tyson took the bait. He knew what he was doing. He was just gonna talk about him and, you know, try to do as much as he can to try to get Mike Tyson's attention. And that's going to make Mike Tyson want to fight him, and now he's on the biggest stage of his life. So I get it. I get what Green was trying to do. The gang leader ain't dumb.
Yet, the occasion didn't change the traditional no robe, no socks attire. He was all business and had a personal vendetta to settle with the now not-so-confident-looking Mitch Blood Green.
And was so much a factor in the last fight that he showed here on HBO that he didn't double up. He just was a little bit lazy, especially in the later rounds. So we'll see what he does about that against Mitch Green.
Always aggressive, right in front of his man. That was just a hand movement. He put the shot. There's the left hook I was talking about.
He did draw a warning from Luis Rivera, the referee, about holding Green's in trouble.
Green bigger than him.
Good left hand, Mike Tyson.
Everyone has a plan until they get their mouthguard punched out of the ring in the first round. While Green had all the physical advantages, Tyson's supreme boxing skills and speed negated the gap in size and weight, backing up Green from the opening bell, slipping and countering, forcing the much bigger man into survival mode from the word go.
Big right hand against Tillis. And what a shot!
Oh, he knocked his mouthpiece out.
Tyson punched out Green's mouthguard again in the third, whereafter he started mocking his opponent for having a wide, gulping mouth, stalking him across the ring, landing fierce, single power punches.
Oh my God, those punches hurt.
Tyson there, good uppercut. He has to take the standing veteran. Another couple body shots. Well, he's smiling. Tyson is smiling, but see, Green has those fast hands.
The fight became so routine by the closing stages, the crowd knew they were witnessing a foregone conclusion. Tyson himself appeared to have his mind elsewhere as he bizarrely kissed his trainer, Kevin Rooney, while he was trying to deliver him intricate strategies and details regarding the fight.
Mike Tyson, man, he different.
Kevin Rooney is in there and just jabbering away 100 miles a minute. Mike Tyson leaned over and just kissed him.
Tyson closed the show, trying to score the knockout, but Green's disinclination to engage allowed him to grab and clinch his way to safety, resulting in him losing 9 out of 10 of the rounds on every different scorecard.
He just got whooped.
But we knew deep inside that I was going to win this fight so easy because of his style. He's a game tough opponent, and he took some fairly decent shots. But as you know, I won comfortably, and I didn't try for the knockout, and I used a great deal of discipline in there, not knocking him out.
Tyson claimed he carried Green the 10-round distance on purpose to punish him for as long as possible, and whether it was true or not, Green's personal pride was hurt, and he was willing to do whatever it took to restore a sliver of respect amongst his peers.
What'd he do?
Green retired from boxing after the Tyson loss and returned to the street to earn a living from selling drugs. He always planned to one day get Tyson back in the ring, but as his years of inactivity ensued, Tyson progressed to one of the most dominant heavyweight champions of all time, undefeated and undisputed. The days of fighting lingering contenders such as Mitch Green were over. It wasn't until a couple of years after their fight that the two would meet again, this time in Green's element, the street. In the early hours of August 23, 1988, Mitch Green got wind that Tyson was shopping at a local clothing store close by to where he ran things on the street. Tyson had traveled a fair distance to pick up a luxury leather jacket handmade by one of his friends over at Dapper Dan's. As Tyson was chilling in the store with his entourage, Mitch Green burst through the door on his own, high on angel dust, demanding Tyson either give him a rematch or empty his pockets right there on the spot.
What?
Tyson, of course, no stranger to altercations on the street, dragged Mitch Green outside and pummeled him to the ground multiple times. Spectators said that the fight was short, violent, and very one-sided. In fact, it was no longer than 15 to 20 seconds, but that's more than long enough for the heavyweight champion to inflict severe damage. There is no footage of the fight, regardless of the clickbait you see on YouTube, but there were many accounts of what happened that all aligned, all except Green's account, where he claimed Tyson sucker punched him and ran.
Who threw the first punch here?
He did. He sucker punched me because he's with his friends, you know. And when he hit me, and I said I couldn't get a chance to get to him like I wanted because everybody was like pulling me, you know, holding me like. So
why would Mike Tyson just want to fight
so
you?
he get away, and he.
Do y'all believe that? Y'all believe what he talking about? Why would Mike Tyson just go out his way to fight him when he came to the store that Mike Tyson was at? I don't know, man. I don't know. Write in the comments if y'all know a little bit more about this story.
Ran for me.
Green was certain the Tyson scuffle, which became mainstream news around the world, would add enough public intrigue to get his rival back in the ring. But Mitch had already burnt his bridges among the promoters in the sport, with his violent threats to Don King in the past already shadow banning him from ever earning any serious money in the ring again. After Green's failed attempts to get the rematch with Tyson, he filed a civil lawsuit for $20 million due to the injuries he suffered during their fight. The former gang leader came away with one small W to coincide with a long list of L's, winning the case and being awarded $45,000, close to what his purse was during their professional fight in 1986.
Yeah, I remember seeing Mitch Green's eye after that. It was like he broke his socket. Broke the eye socket, yeah. He broke his eye socket, yeah. The eye socket. You gotta hit really hard to do something like that, right?
Green returned to the ring 7 years later, but at that point he was a shell of his former self and was beaten by journeymen with losing records until he hung him up for good in 2005. As of 2022, Green is still a large-as-life character, but now employs his energy into his love of Christianity. He still has a gripe with Tyson, but I think it's fair to say the two have now moved on, and whenever the topic is brought up today, they both make light of their infamous 30-year feud.
That didn't work. The boy scared to death. After we had the street fight, the boy scared to death.
Well, wait a minute. Didn't y'all have a street fight, Mitch?
For the ring, for the street. Thinking the man would do something about it. He wouldn't do nothing. Oh, man, he freaked me out.
Did you know that actually Tyson and Sal are good friends and he comes to the show? He knew, look there. Yeah, look, Tyson.
Oh, shit.
You see that?
He didn't know he was in there. He didn't know he was in there. He was probably scared to death. Mitch Green, what was his name? I don't know what his name was, but I know Blood was scared. That was a super great video. I definitely enjoyed that. Like I said, I think I'm gonna start diving into more boxing videos because I think that's the great thing about my YouTube channel is if y'all don't know what I do on my YouTube channel, I react to basketball. I'm a basketball guy. That's what I've been doing my whole life. But the old school basketball, you know, the Larry Bird, the Magic Johnson, the Michael Jordan, like the 80s and 90s basketball, I wasn't around for. I wasn't old enough to watch. Because of my YouTube channel, I was able to dive back into it. And I've learned so much about the 90s. So I think I'm going to do the same thing with boxing. I don't know that much about boxing, so I'm going to just use my channel as a way to do reaction videos and learn at the same time. But I appreciate y'all for watching, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel if y'all haven't already. Make sure y'all like this video if y'all like this video, and go ahead and write something in the comments. But see y'all next time, man. We out.